Hello everyone, this is Magical Me. Welcome. I am an oracle and a spiritual intuitive, and I'm here to share this week's Moonday Oracle Message. This is going to be an intuitive message for the world as a collective, for everyone, for the week of January 18th, 2021. So I'm just going to give it a moment before I go into the explanation of what we'll be doing here today for anybody who's new to my page, and just allow people to see that I am live, and also to maybe to find out how the sound quality is, because I never really know what is going on with my microphone. So, hi Dawn, hello Amanda, welcome. Just want to ask anybody who is tuning in just to let me know, how is the sound quality for all of you? Is there an echo? Is there any distortion? Is it too low? Just let me know. And I'm going to go ahead and start sharing that I'm live. Is there an... Ooh, I can hear it here, but it's hard because it's an echo for me here. Hey Meredith, welcome gorgeous. Oh, thank you so much Dawn, happy Moon Day. Thank you Meredith. There is a low white noise hum in the background, but it's not disruptive. It's probably my ceiling fan. And I didn't want to put it on, but it's a bit warm in here, so. Oh, thank you. And you're probably going to hear my cat crying in the background because she's not allowed in the room right now. So wonderful. All right, thank you so much. Hi, Angela. Welcome. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for being here. Shelly. Direction with all of this is 100% welcome. Oh, girl, I know it's going to be quite an interesting week. So definitely hoping to bring some positive messages forward here. Bear with me. Just sharing this. Oh, all right, all done. Hey Flo, welcome. So lovely to have all of you here with me this evening. I almost said this week, but yes, this week. So yeah, there's quite a bit to share. So we're going to be going right on into that. So let me just, hey Ange, welcome love. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right, so I'll go really quickly with this for anyone who is new to my Moonday messages. Welcome and thank you so much for being here. So what this is every Monday I try to, as long as the divine timing allows for me to go on here live and share a message for higher guidance and awareness for all of us for the coming week. So it really does allow us to have this like I said, kind of like some extra insight into what is going on energetically. If there's anything intuitively or astrologically coming up that might be having an impact on us, I really do ask for any messages or insight into how we can best have the awareness, the heads up, and know how to maneuver through the energy of the week, and really allows us to flow in harmony with the energy versus really kind of swimming against that flow, which does create a bit of chaos and conflict within us. So just giving us that heads up and awareness. Again, I am an oracle and an intuitive, and that means I use my own intuitive abilities as well as oracle cards to discern this guidance and an insight for us. I do ask for only the positive good for all of us as a collective. These are not individualized private readings here today. I do offer individualized personal readings. I do offer those, but privately. So if you are interested in having a personal message with me, or reading with me, or even a healing session with me, you can reach out to me and we will get that scheduled for you. This is more of a generalized overview of the week for everyone, for all of us in the collective. And it really is set with divine intention that those who are meant to hear these messages will find themselves here through divine synchronicity. And it does not matter whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching it through the replay. Even if that replay is months and months from now, you're here in exact divine timing as to when you most need to hear this message. And this message will resonate with each of you uniquely according to your own journeys. So again, not individual readings here today. Let me see if there's anything I'm forgetting. And so how it will work is that first I actually usually share some news and announcements, although I won't be sharing any of those today. But I will also go into what is called my energy forecast. And I really talk about what I feel intuitively, empathically, anything that's been coming up emotionally, any messages I've been receiving over the last couple of days or week, and talk about those and how that might apply and assist you in your own life. And then I like to pull the Moonday message, which is from an oracle card deck that I am guided to be working with for the week. And then I do bring forward the interpretation of that card and how it will assist us. And then afterwards, we work together with a mudra. So when it comes time to get to the mudra, I will go into the explanation of what exactly that is for anyone who is unfamiliar with that. All right, so those of you just popping in, welcome. Hi, Alan. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, beautiful Annie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Risa, welcome. Julie, welcome, gorgeous. Tor, welcome. Thanks for being here. Glad to have you all here with me this evening. I hope everybody is doing well in this really intense energy. So I'm going to go right into the energy forecast because I don't have any really news and announcements to share at this time anyway. So some of you may have seen on my personal page as well as here on Magical Me, I did share a post that I was guided to communicate regarding alchemy, and it was about being this feeling of being under pressure. And that has been, it's still, I think I posted it last night. It's actually probably going to be, the reason I was guided to write about it, it's probably going to be a message that we're really meant to hold on to throughout the energy of this week. I'm going to talk about the energy of the week, and then I'm going to talk into what I've been feeling intuitively. So first and foremost, the energy I've been feeling is, the energy of the week, and what I know to be occurring is a very big astrological conjunction. The cosmos are really shaking and heating it up, and we will literally feel, and you probably already feel, as though you are under pressure or in a pressure cooker. Like really just just being squeezed, and what's happening is it's creating this agitation within us. And there's a reason for it, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But the major alignment. Hi, Laura. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Happy Moon Day. The major alignment that's coming up on the 20th, I believe, is the conjunction between the planet Mars and the planet Uranus. I know. I always try to say it Uranus so that I don't make myself mess up and laugh at that, because I'm still a child apparently and I can't say it without laughing. So yeah. So Uranus is we talked about this last week, the mover and the shaker, the awakener. That's it's not alone in working its magic, and I say magic. It's not alone in what it's doing, but I will say it's probably the bigger energy hanging around, because about 2 weeks ago, I kept seeing in my mind when I was connecting into, my higher self, pulling the messages for myself, I really was getting this symbol, the glyph, if you will, of the planet Uranus. And I couldn't understand why I was. And then, upon, looking further into it, talking to my lovely soul sister, Meredith Morris of Mermaid Trove, kind of figured out that, Uranus is quite big this month, will actually be really quite big this whole year. But on the 20th this week, it is going to be conjunct the planet Mars. So Mars being the red planet, very much the energy of the warrior. I like to refer to it as our champion, although it's like it, depending on who you talk to, it doesn't necessarily get the greatest reputation because Mars is that war planet, if you will. It also has this very strong, fierce, masculine energy with it, but it also is the energy of the pioneer, the catalyst for change. So combine that energy, you could do the math here, and combine that energy with the planet Uranus and the awakener, catalyst for change, awakener. You've got a bit of an alchemical recipe for things to really go kaboom. Now, I'm not going to put too much energy into the what if, okay? So I just want to glaze over a little bit of this, and I see quite a few more of you popping in. Hey, Fred, Lara, and Sherry, Brenna, welcome. I'm going to go back through the comments, so if I didn't say hello to you, please don't take it personally. I'm going to go back and I'll say hi to everybody I missed, okay? And I'll check your comments as well. So, that pressure cooker feeling, those energies, we're already feeling them. Uranus actually went direct on the 14th, so it's already been having, kaboom. It's already having that effect, that impact on us. That's the agitation too. Also, the moon is in the sign of Aries right now, Aries being the sign that's connected to Mars. So you've got this, again, this whole like fierce, fiery energy. You remember last week when we pulled the mudra, the element of fire came out? Yeah. So the fire is necessary to turn up the heat, right? And only when we heat things up can it be transformed into a different outcome, into a different result. So it's definitely the heating up this week. I think I also seen that the moon, the Uranus and Mars conjunction are opposing the moon, if I'm not mistaken. So the moon is our ruler of emotions, our intuition, our instincts. And so I'm not quite sure what sign the moon will be in at that time. I didn't even look that far ahead. So you can see how we've got emotional turbulence. We've got the pioneer for change and that warrior fire energy, as well as the mover and the shaker. And I always see like cracking foundation with Uranus. So it's joined up with them conjunct. Okay, thank you. So they're all going to be like in this big collage of a very potent alchemical recipe here for, all right, so not coincidentally, the presidential inauguration is on the 20th. So with this all said, I'm not putting a lot of energy into the chaos, but I'm not, it doesn't take a brainiac to figure out that there's going to be quite an interesting energy happening this week, even with the build up to the pressure, the pressure cooker building up to that result. I'm going to ask all of you to really just hold that vision. We talked about this last week about holding the vision that you wish to create. So I know it's really, really easy to go into fear and worry and panic. And I actually started having some pain in the left side of my abdomen, which is where I sometimes store worry and fear and stress. So I'm going to ask all of you to remember this message and to really try to hold that vision of love, positivity. If you have not already read the post that I made about alchemy and being under pressure and the element of pressure coming in, please do so, because it does give a little bit of an insight, an overview as to, I would say, the bigger picture as to why a lot of this is happening. And you can already kind of see that based on what I just said, with alchemy, in order for something to be transformed into something else, you've got to turn up the heat, create that agitation and friction. So now what I have been feeling over the last couple of days is agitation, really feeling like, I think it was yesterday, for no reason, I completely woke up and I was just agitated. And everything that anyone said, I just got more agitated. And normally, I can kind of keep my cool a bit. And it really, honestly, wasn't even anything that would meant to really trigger me in that way, but it was. So I had to step outside of myself for a second and be like, okay, what is going on here? Because I was even agitated with my dog. And that takes a lot for me. I'm usually the one that's like, oh, but she's just a baby, and she doesn't know any better, and I had no patience. Today even, I caught myself with my patience being very on a short fuse. And so that is an energy that we're all feeling for one, on an individual level. There is some feelings that, need to be addressed. The agitation is that energy of what's coming up to the surface for us to really acknowledge, why is this happening? Why are we feeling agitated? And what is it meant to trigger within me, and the why? And then get ahead of it. Don't allow it to rule you. Don't indulge it. Just understand it and honor it, and then step back from it. And I was really easily able to do that. I'll say surprisingly, I was very easily able to do that. And I just continued to ground myself. Remember last week on Moonday, if you didn't already see that, go back and watch last week. In the beginning of Moonday, we did a grounding exercise to really anchor your roots down into earth, because I likened it to not being connected, not being attached to earth. You're really kind of just getting smacked around by the energy like a ping pong ball. And so a lot of us are tuning into that collective. So it's not just on an individual, you're tapping into the collective, because we all are one, guys. So we really are feeling each other, and we're reactive off of one another. So it's in the air. So it's really important for us to really anchor our roots down into earth, really connecting as far down as you can, just envisioning yourself growing tree roots, and as a tree, a massive oak that is not easily able to be swayed about in a storm or in the breeze. So keeping mind of that this week. Really remembering to not take things too seriously at this time. Everyone's kind of just, they're not themselves. You're not yourself. So not taking things as seriously. Again, detaching from negative information, detaching from external sources that are just outlets like the news and media for just constant berating us with this negative information. Really detaching from that. Having awareness is okay, but really allowing yourself to get consumed by something is a whole nother story. So really remind yourself about that. Doing your best to kind of stay away from energies that can create a lot of static and make it difficult for you so like not sleeping with your cell phone. I like to keep a piece of shungite by my bed, because I do have a television in my room, and I do obviously have my cell phone in my room. So I do like to keep a piece of shungite by me. You can keep a piece of shungite on you. This is a crystal that's meant to block electromagnetic frequencies, or at least filter them out. You can even work with some grounding crystals, black tourmaline, smoky quartz. Hematite's probably my favorite for grounding. Garnet as well, because it's like a big boulder. And tiger iron. I really am loving tiger iron, which is a combination of tiger's eye, hematite, and that third one is just completely eluding me right now. But there's a third stone one of you might know, and if you do, please feel free to share. I know it, but I have no idea why it's flying from my brain right now. So really good stones to keep yourself nice and rooted and anchored, and connecting with nature. Obviously, that's the number one. So really keep that as best you can. Also, if you can zoom outside of everything that's going on in the surface and see things from a big picture, we can recognize why some of this is occurring. Towers sometimes fall and crumble, and they make a big boom, and it's messy and dusty, and debris is everywhere when you need to rebuild, right? When you need to tear down an old structure to build a new one. So that's what I've been feeling. Another thing that I actually started feeling today was I was tapping into grief. So that agitation, this is a big week for release as well. For the change, I just heard like the changing of the guard, like the changing of hands, which not surprising, the inauguration. But I don't think it's just that. I think that's just the outwards, the physical representation of what's happening on a symbolic metaphoric message, if you will. So literally the shifting and the transition that's happening, there's a lot of release also occurring. Some changes that we have decided we are making based on last week's message. You know, there was a lot we talked about regarding that. And I did talk about that. I actually made the decision to leave my my job that I've been working at for 15 years. This is my last week. I actually leave on my last day is Thursday. So everything is kind of, look at that, and that's the 21st. So look at the 21 viewers right now. So it's very interesting. There's no such thing as coincidences that I chose that week without really knowing why to be my last. So I feel like in that process of the releasing, some of it that we are, maybe people are feeling a little, it's hard to let go of things that you've known your entire life. Oh, are you guys talking about my alpha? I'm going to go into the comments afterwards because I'm going to get so distracted. I forgot that she was in the photo or in the video. See, told you, we get distracted. So yeah, the grief that comes up, and it's okay to feel that. I actually got a message today about letting it go and allowing yourself to grieve instead of just trying to be like, I'm okay, I'm not worried, I'm not scared, I'm not this, I'm not that, No, like, be honest with yourself. Don't build a house there, but be honest with yourself and allow yourself to grieve. And some changes happening that are not of our choosing, that the universe intervened and made those choices in some way or another for us. And I know it's hard when you're in it and you weren't expecting it to see that as a blessing, and that it was divine intervention. But in the big picture scheme of things, it was meant for your highest good. There is divine intervention occurring, if not for you, but also for whatever parties are involved in that as well. So I felt this morning, beyond the agitation, I was really good, and then I just suddenly would go into this moment of like, my heart felt really heavy again, and I felt really sad, and I felt like like I just lost my best friend or something, and my heart was really hurting, and I almost wanted to like burst into tears, and I couldn't figure it out because I knew it wasn't mine because there was no logical explanation for it. So I definitely felt I was tapping into the collective, and that many people might be feeling this at this time. And so we are being given that okay to allow ourselves to feel any grief for anything that's going on, even with what might be occurring, as long as you don't build a house there. Don't indulge in that energy and let it consume you. Acknowledge it, give it a voice, write it out if you can, express it, and then release it, and allow yourself to rise into that place of love. And at the end of the day, it sounds so cliche, but truly only love is real. Everything else, it's essentially everything happening is just to move us into love. So hold that thought and hold that vision and embody it. Not just hold it, embody it, anchor it. When you anchor your roots, anchor that love, anchor that trust in the divine knowing. Okay, so I hope that helps everybody with what you might be experiencing. I'm going to go ahead and check the comments out before I actually pull the Moonday message. Hi Ernie, welcome and thank you for being here. I just finished the energy forecast, but I'm going to check some comments. I'll go into the Moonday message. Hi Moniel, welcome gorgeous. Thanks for being here. Glad you're here. Brenna says, I've been feeling the pressure to leave my job too, but I'm still feeling fear attached to it. That's natural, I was there too, and I'm leaving on good terms. It's nothing like that, but just my personal decision to really go full time with my passion, my calling, and what I love. And what's interesting, Moniel, is that I had been feeling it coming for quite a few months, and I would say it started coming to a big head probably the beginning of December, where it was just a matter of choosing my day. And I had a hard time with that, and I kept giving myself reasons why I had to hold on longer and why I couldn't just do this and why I couldn't just do that. And obviously not wanting to upset anyone else or deal with any of that either. It just started getting to the point where it was actually becoming really difficult, and I was experiencing a lot of grief and frustration because I wasn't making my decision. And I remember just feeling like I just needed to choose a day on the calendar. I just need to look at a day, and I just needed to choose that day, and that was the rest would follow. And I feel like that night I went to sleep, I had a dream. And in the dream, I was back in like school, sitting in an auditorium, and I had another student say something about an angel to me. And as I kind of paid more attention, the student was holding up a piece of paper for me, and it was the student was telling me about an angel, and so I was like, oh, well, let me see your paper. And it was actually, the message was from Archangel Chamuel. And when I was told to read the paper out loud in my dream, and I did. And when I did, it was actually an invocation to Archangel Chamuel, and I was basically giving her permission to assist me with what I needed to have the courage and the power to make the necessary changes that I needed. And so Archangel Chamuel actually does assist us with living our life purpose and having the courage and the fearlessness to live in alignment with our life purpose and our life work. Also assists in other things as well, but that was specific in the message. And one thing about archangels is that they do not have free will, and humans do. So therefore, humans actually have to give them permission. They cannot intervene they can't violate that permission to assist us. So I had to read this thing out loud, which was essentially Archangel Chamuel was probably in the background for months, like, can you just listen already to me? I'm trying to tell you I'm here. So I finally, in the dream state, connected with me and gave me that. I gave them the okay. The next morning I woke up with this ferocity of like, that's it. No more no more kind of dragging my feet. What am I telling the universe? I really need to just make this decision because it's not fair to me and it's not fair to anybody else involved. So I sat down, I wrote my letter, and I gave my notice, and I had my date, which is the 21st, and there's 21 viewers again. So if you need a confirmation, my lovely, that might be it. Okay, so just maybe working with what I just said might help you to get yourself into that place, and you'll just know it when you're ready. Okay, all right. Hi, Patty. Welcome. My house elf looks adorable. Hey, Karen. Yes. So my house elf. So now I'm going to have to show it to everybody since you made me. This is Thistle. And it is my house elf. And this is actually made by my mother. Her business page is Disgraced Land Babies. And she custom hand makes these, and many, many, many others. And she got this for me for Christmas. She made this for me for Christmas because she knows how much I am obsessed with Harry Potter and magic. So, magical me. So yeah, and she she was like, I want to see them in your videos. So I forgotten that I'd sat her here, and yeah, it's very distracting. Meredith says, obsidian is a good grounding stone. I worked with all the multi-directional change feels with my obsidian sphere this morning. Yeah, good point. Obsidian, just a message of caution, also does bring up your shadows. So while it will ground you, obsidian is also going to project your inner shadows and those inner shadowy feelings and emotions. So be prepared to work if you do use obsidian as your grounding stone, but really great for deflecting that negative energy, even cutting through. You can wave obsidian through your auric field to actually disconnect energetic cords or attachments not serving you. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Hey, Lynette. Welcome, love. Keeping aggravation under control, emotions not so much, and that's okay. That's okay. The agitation, aggravation, remember to, when we're feeling it, and you recognize that you are, so that's fantastic. And then the emotions, they got to come out somewhere, right? Better than with yourself than, kind of pelting other people with your agitation. So I was the recipient of that this morning with my daughter. And then she kind of brought herself back into check. So it was momentary, but it took a moment, you know, and not before Mama had to just like kind of draw that boundary line. Like, there's a line we don't cross. So even with others, you know, let them know with love, there's a line you don't cross. Again, understand you're going through it, but love, 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 okay? And just step back, compassion, you know, step back. See if I missed anything else. Hi, Eleanor. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. Emo Instapot, Meredith. Okay, I think that might be it. Like, peer pressure from the universe. Oh, that's interesting, Brenna. Could be. Lots of pressure. And remember, we got that message last week. We got that message last, so I'm just scrolling all the way back through these, about the staying in your truth and in your knowing with the Lady of the Lake that came forward, and it was really about not allowing the illusion of what was going on around us to cast its shadow upon us, to stay in your truth, in what you know to be true, not what you think to be true, what you know in your heart of hearts. So that remains, okay? So hold on to that too. Yeah, I put mine up for sale. Yeah, maybe I should do that too. I'm kidding. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to get into the Moonday message. So what I'm going to have everybody do is I'm going to welcome you into sacred space with me so we can just really all bring our energy in as we all are connecting through this amazing web of light right now. So we're going to bring our energy in. I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And just blow that breath out of your mouth, feeling yourself release all worry, all stress in your body. Take another nice deep breath in through your nose. Again, blow the breath out, releasing and feeling your body just being anchored lower and lower into the earth beneath you. One more deep cleansing breath in through your nose. And drop your mind down into your heart space. And allow yourself to just feel with your heart. Okay? Release that tension in your body. All right. So this week, I'm working with Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by my dear sister of light, Cheryl Yambrick Rose. And there's that Lady of the Lake with that message that did actually come forward. This was the card, one of them. All right, so let us see. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Michelle. You are just in time for me to pull the Moonday message. So we're calling in a message for the collective good for the week of January 18th, 2021. What guidance comes forward? Ooh, we got two. I'm going to take both of them, but I'm going to move this out of my way before I knock it over. I did knock it over. I knew it was happening. Okay. Hi, June. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So, this week's cards, let's see. Big messages. Okay. I'm going to go with this one first. So, the first card that comes forward, Teacup. Yeah. Is that a Freudian slip for the week? The teapot, kaboom. Okay, so the first card is Libuse, the Prophetess of Prague, and it says, a new door is opening. Step over the threshold. Ooh, what a chills just went up my body. Look at that. I love, love, love this card. I love the message, and I am loving the violet pink light. So violet to me is all about transmutation and alchemy. It's also the energy of mercy and compassion, as well as bringing the pink. Very Kuan Yin colors here. Kuan Yin has been cameoing in quite a few different people's messages that I've seen, quite a few different cards that have popped up along the way over the past week. Kuan Yin is she actually does work with the violet ray. She sits on the karmic board and does work with the energy of mercy, compassion, and relief. So this is about releasing some karmic debt that Mother Earth is actually holding right now, as well as all of us that are tied into that karmic debt within the earth, as we are all one. And so the earth is clearing her karmic cycles the same way we are clearing our karmic cycles. And we are the output. What we're experiencing is the output of the what's going on under the surface or in the higher realms, comes out through the physical. As an energy healer, when I work on, when I work with clients on their energy bodies, a lot of times their physical pain, what they're experiencing, is actually rooted in their energy body somewhere, whether it be through an emotion or a different layer. So it's the same process or concept. So we're working with releasing some serious ancient karmic cycles this week. And so everything that's happening, as difficult for some of us as that might be to grasp, not so difficult for others, as you might understand what divine intervention and process is about things. This is divinely orchestrated. It doesn't mean that it's a license to go out and run amok and act a fool. Please know that we are all responsible and accountable for ourselves and our actions and the role played in the big picture scheme of things. We each have a unique role in that. And so the point is not to incur more karmic debt. Karma is neither good nor bad, but you want your karmic cycles that are coming back to you, that you're creating at this moment in time, that we are creating, to be ones of positive change going forward. So the violet and the pink, again, all about that compassion and having compassion, knowing that transmutation and alchemy is occurring this week. You've got the presence of the falcon there, which to me is very much connected to the same message as the hawk. It's a spirit messenger of seeing things from a bigger perspective, from that vantage point of like a hawk sight or falcon sight. They can see things from that overview. And then also, to me, it's the spirit messengers like that, when it comes to falcons or hawks, are all about the messages of trusting in spirit, having your back. Everything is divinely, has a spiritual connection to it, if that makes sense. So then you've got Labuse, the prophetess. That in itself speaks of this is something prophetic that is occurring in a way that it is divinely orchestrated, a necessary transition occurring in order to shift us into the new kingdom. In the background there, that is being shown to us. We're getting that glimpse of it. It's actually beginning to manifest itself here in the physical, this new world, this new consciousness, this new way that we want to live in. And again, it says a new door is opening. Yeah, whoa, this card, right? Step over the threshold. That means the door is opening for us to step forward, to not stay in the old, to not engage in the old lower vibrational patterns, mindsets, behaviors, control. This is about us stepping into a new way and liberating ourselves. And you might not be able to see it yet this week. You might not see the full picture yet this week, but we're in the alchemical process right now. We're in that cauldron of transformation. It's already in the works. So the card that came along with this one is Transmutation on the Tour, and it says find the middle ground, compromise. And look at that sword of truth being anchored there over St. Michael's Tower on the top of the Tour being the heart chakra of the earth, as well as the third eye chakra. So about aligning heart and vision. You got that blue rose, which is the embodiment or energy of Christ consciousness and Christ light, which is essentially oneness, unity, and love. And then you've got, to me, it very much looks like Yeshua, but I do believe that it is actually Archangel Michael, who is the archangel of the first ray. He is that ray is all about divine will. And so it is really about the truth being anchored here, illumination happening, everything happening, a new door opening for us to find a middle ground. So it might not seem like that initially when things, whatever might occur in the beginning stages, but it is essentially happening for us all as a collective to be able to find what works, to find a middle ground, to compromise, to not be so rigid in our thinking that this has to be like this tug of war that our country is in right now, or that you in your individual life might feel emotionally in a tug of war. It is about finding what works, the best involved. And that's what I was talking about, Brenna, thank you for triggering it. With me leaving my job of 15 years I was, kind of holding out. And, at the end of the day, it came to that point where I was like, this, not only is this not serving me, it's not serving anybody else that's involved, my employer, my coworkers, because I'm not fully here anymore. I'm already mentally gone at that point, and so it was about compromise and finding a way out that was beneficial to both, but also at the end of the day honoring myself. So it's really this week our messages are showing us that there's an opportunity for a new way to be embraced, for a new perspective for all of us. Again, whether this is in the collective and global events occurring, as well as in your own individual life. So when you are triggered, if you are triggered at all this week or presented with any sort of a challenge, that's this is your cue. Here's your your prophetic message. When those challenges or opportunities for change come about, you have the choice to either indulge and engage in the old way of doing something, the old way of reacting and expecting, or you have the opportunity to find a way that works in divine love, a way that works for all involved, of course honoring yourself, but that honors the love in everything, compassion in everything, unconditional love, but just being completely also, that we're releasing karmic patterns. Let's say, for example, that there was a negative scenario in Brenna's job or in my job. It was negative, and, you could clearly really just say, I'm not coming back. You could really just, here's everything, A, B, C, and D that you did that really pissed me off and really hurt me and upset me. And you could go out with possibly creating more of a karmic cycle because now there was a connection that was formed through this information of anger, frustration, pain. I'm going to make you feel what I feel, or I want you to know just what you did to me and how you made me feel. When you engage that energy, you're creating more of that pattern, the cycle that you're meant to liberate yourself from. So instead, going out with positivity and saying, it's just my time. It is just my time to go into a different direction. I am completely grateful, appreciative of the opportunity, of the lessons presented to me throughout this experience, but I now realize that it is time for me to just go in a different way, and here's what I can do to ensure a smooth transition. So it's about really being that bigger person, seeing it from the bigger perspective and holding love and compassion for all involved, whether you perceive them to be worthy of that or not, whether their actions were less than humane, whether their actions were, and I know this is a tough one, all right, I know it's a tough one, especially for those that might have been the recipient of some very cruel things that have happened. Really remembering that the majority of people act from their place of consciousness, or we all do, but the majority of people have no awareness to any consequences of things. So you being the light for the all, you being the love for the all. So finding the middle ground this week is going to be essential to the ability for you and us to cross a new threshold. Crossing that new threshold means doing things differently. That works for the good of all. So that's a beautiful message for us to come forward, having heard the energy forecast that was about, I don't care how you look at it, the planets are in quite a particular place that it makes it almost unavoidable that there could be some crazy things happening. But again, it doesn't mean it stays that way. In the post that I wrote about the alchemy and being under pressure, I did specifically hear the phrase temporary discomfort. Okay? It's temporary. And everything else is what we make it. So hold the vision of what you want to see happening at the same time. We're holding compassion and love for ourselves, for our planet, for our brothers and sisters, whether you agree or not agree, is really about remembering that change begins within. Christ consciousness being anchored on this planet means that oneness, unity, and love, and holding space for that to occur. All right? So, new door opening this week, opportunity to make changes, do things differently, and then we've got the transmutation, finding that middle ground and compromising. Really positive outcome or expectation here, or hope, if you will, compared to what we hear with the astrology, right? So hi, Diana. Hello, Jill. Welcome, and thanks for popping in and being here. Just wrap that up, but anything that you missed, will be available on the replay. So I hope that, everybody can hold on to all of this as we move through this energy, because I know from Monday to Friday, things look a lot different, and it's hard to keep track of what day was what and what you heard and what you were supposed to, especially when emotions rise to the surface, which is likely with the continuation of the friction and agitation occurring, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the mudra segment. Move this over. And I am working with a card deck called Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body by Alison D. Nicola. Okay. So mudras, why I work with them, because for all of us, is that they are a really easy, effective way for us all to take our power into our own hands, to have a tool at our disposal that allows us to facilitate healing, expansion, enlightenment, as well as growth. And you do not have to know, a whole lot of background information. Mudras work for anyone. Anyone can use them, okay? So the word mudra itself, Angie Walters of Crystal Essence Healing is my soul sister, who does know quite a bit of information regarding mudras, and a lot more in depth than even this book in this card deck actually shares, as well as even more beyond my knowledge. So pay attention to Angie's comments when the mudra comes out, because Angie so graciously shares extra insight and information on working with that mudra in other ways as well, and what the connection even to it is. So we appreciate you for that, Angie. Thank you. All right, so mudra itself is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit is a very ancient language, believed to be one of the first languages ever on Earth. With that said, it is a form of light language, which means that it is encoded sound. It is light code that assists in activations, healing, and enlightenment, coming out in the form of sound. Sound is one of the most powerful tools for healing as well. So it's working with just the Sanskrit words, they're powerful, but that word itself, mudra, translates to mean seal, like an energy seal, or I see it also as like a trigger button, like an activator. So when we form these seals with our hands, We have palm chakras within our hands, and we have our fingers. They act as triggers connected to all of the elements. And so when we form these mudras or seals with our hands, doing many different, because there are hundreds upon hundreds of different mudras out there that you can work with. We do a lot of them all the time. Sometimes when I'm talking, you see me do this. I do that unconsciously. We work with all of these mudras from different lifetimes that we've known, but it is very effective ways of actually bringing your energy centered, focusing, etc. So these mudras are seals that when used, you channel your focus and intention, as well as breathing your energy into your energy centers. Each mudra is connected to one or more energy centers within your body, known as your chakras. Each chakra is connected to different areas in your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual or light body. So when working with these mudras and they trigger those energy centers, now you're channeling energy directly into those energy centers, which enables you to activate them and then move that energy through them to alleviate any blockage you may have there, as we all at some time or another have blockage in one chakra or another. And so it really does allow you to effectively bring energy into those energy bodies, the different layers, to clear out any blockage, even that may occur on your physical body in the form of a physical ailment. So it can alleviate these and bring forward some expansion and overall healing and well-being. Also, the purpose of their use is to really bring us into enlightenment. So very powerful. So powerful that sometimes they come with a word of caution. Depending upon the mudra that comes forward, it may have a caution, which I will let you know in advance. And that caution is because when you're channeling energy into your energy centers, if you already suffer from a physical ailment in your body, in that particular energy centers area, you can overstimulate it, which might create some aggravation. So if you are not comfortable with that and don't want to take that chance, you then err on the side of caution whether or not you want to use it. So I'll let you know in advance before we actually do the mudra, because we will do the mudra together for anybody who wants to participate. Afterwards, I'll take a picture of the mudra, post it on my page, and I encourage you to share it to your phone or whatever device you watch upon, so this way you can work with this mudra effectively all week long on your own. Literally takes 3 minutes, and you can do it as long as you like or as quickly as you like, and it does assist, okay? Hello, Sunday Charlene, if I said that right, but welcome, thanks for being here. So I did do the Moonday message and the energy forecast. We're going to do the mudra now, but anything that you missed will be available on replay. Thank you for being here. All right, so here we go, everybody. So let us see what mudra comes forward for the collective good for the week of January 18th, 2021. I knew it was going to be a blue mudra because my throat started scratching and tickling the moment I picked up the deck. And oh my dear word, it is the Kali mudra, and it is release. Why wouldn't it be? Right? Why wouldn't it be this week? So we talked about release in both the energy forecast and we're releasing an old way of being. We're really releasing an old paradigm. All right, an old age is just being collapsed before our very eyes. So lots of release this week. Kali Ma is associated. This is the Kali mudra. So Kali Ma is the Hindu goddess of death, rebirth, and transformation. She is the fierce warrior mother goddess energy that comes into, apologize everybody in advance, but for lack of better terminology, get shit done. And she is a very fierce protector at the same time. So that speaks volume that Kali Ma is coming in as like our champion this week, to really step forward. And that's very comforting, knowing that we've got a sacred feminine, like mothering type of energy coming in to kind of like, this is like fierce mama bear, like, okay, my children are fighting, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to grab both of you and I'm going to say it's time to stop. You're going to sit in the corner until I tell you to get back up, you know? So this is really Mama Bear energy coming in to help to bring about the endings of an old to help us birth the new, all right? So this mudra assists with expansiveness, release, and spiritual purification. It directs your breath and awareness to your neck and throat area, energizes your thyroid gland, metabolism, and energy. It releases muscular tension from your shoulders, neck, and throat centers. So there is a caution with this one for anybody who suffers from thyroid condition or issues. You may not want to use this. Use at your discretion. Angie, I'm not sure if there is a chant or a mantra or something that they can do instead of actually working with the mudra to not bring the energy into that energy center as much, because it can overstimulate and maybe cause a bit of irritation. So just a word of caution, use at your discretion, okay? With that said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this together. I know, Karen, you love you some Kali, huh? So what you're going to do is you're going to interlace the fingers of both hands in front of your heart, but make sure that your right thumb is over your left thumb, okay? Interlace the fingers. Look again. And then right thumb crosses over left thumb. It's like Charlie's Angels almost. Makes me feel like, am I aging myself there? Let me see. It's a glare here, so it's really hard to see. So you're going to hold it in front of your heart center. And you've got higher heart right here at your thyroid area. So you might want to have it in between heart and thyroid there. Yes, so make sure that your index fingers are pointed towards your throat center. So pointing in, okay? All right. Angie says that Kali is also time and space and purification. She is the Kundalini. Oh my. All right, well, it's activation time, everybody. So here we go. Time to release what does not serve us. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you release, you blow the breath out of your mouth. We're going to do this 6 full times, so 5 more. Take a nice deep breath in. And release. Again, deep breath in. And release. 3 more times. Breathe in. Release. Deep breath in. Release. Last one. Deep breath in. And release. Funny we're saying release. And you can state, I release all obstacles and align to my true nature. I release all obstacles and align to my true nature. I release all obstacles and align to my true nature. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. All right, and Angie is sharing a chant, also known as a mantra, for this particular mudra, and Kali Ma's particular mantra that you can say to her over and over and over again. And Annie, you're so welcome, sweetheart. You know, glad that they do that. Let us all know. Hi, Alexandra. Welcome, gorgeous. You just made it to the end of the show. So everything will be available on replay for you. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so that throat chakra, you know, is we talked about the Lady of the Lake and the Sword of Truth and, you know, the divine will. is really all about through your higher heart and your throat chakra and the way that you you express yourself here in the world. And it's also your center, your truth center. So quite potent for us as we might need to make some changes in this coming week, everyone. All right. I want to thank you also very much for being here with me, for always showing me your love and your support for our interaction and community that we have here together. I do hope so that you enjoyed the messages that came forward, the information, and that it's beneficial as you go through the energy of this week. Feel free to replay anything that you need to, as sometimes we just need that bit of a reminder throughout the week when things go kaboom. So just, it's here for all of you. Again, have a blessed, magical, wonderful week. Stay in your truth and your knowing, and hold your love light. See you next week.